So I got this idea a few weeks ago about the burnout breakthrough. And I realized that my healing from burnout, it's been a 3-part thing. Now, for a long time, I was known for weight loss, and I was known for nutrition and workouts. And that is the self-care part that is so essential. It's the foundation of coming into your success plan and healing from burnout, but it's not the only thing. But today we're going to talk about manifesting, and we're going to talk about your natal chart and how you can utilize your natal chart to manifest. So part of my weight loss journey was always centered around weight loss. I was setting new goals every single month, and I was journaling out the reality I wanted. I used affirmations, all of it. So manifestation has always been a central part of my process, always. So today, I really want to help you get aligned with your goals and get aligned with who you truly are so you can manifest better and create the life that you deserve, that you will thrive in. So before we get started, I really want you to think about, what are you manifesting? What is your next level? And I love to use visualization. So if you're not good with visualization, having actual images definitely help. So after this, you can go over to Pinterest and just Google, what is your next level look like? So maybe that's being super fit. Maybe that is being successful. Maybe that is buying a new car or living in a better house. So I want you to really visualize, what is that next level for you? And it's going to be different for everyone. So I love to use visualization, and I just want you to think about your next level self. What is your ideal life like? What does your ideal day feel like? And I want you to feel into that and what that is going to feel like. How excited will you be when you get there? There's a lot of things around manifestation. A lot of people think that it doesn't work. It does work, but it's all about feeling. And if you're not excited about the goal that you have set, you're not going to manifest it. Or if you're not excited about how you're going to get there, you're not going to manifest it. So I really want you to tune into your heart and tune into what this next level looks like and feels like for you. So let's talk about your natal chart. So your natal chart is like a picture of the sky and how the planets were aligned for you at the exact time of your birth. So we really want to we need your birth date, your birth time, and your place of birth. And the birth time is very important because that depends on your rising sign. Your rising sign can change every 2 hours. And it has to do with where the sun was rising in the horizon when you were born. And it sets up your whole chart. It is very important. But even if you don't know your birth time, I do get people who they know the birth date and their place of birth, but they're not real sure about their birth time. And that's okay. We can still get insights and glimpses into your personality and into your soul's path, even without the rising sign, but the rising sign really makes it even more potent. So your sun sign has to do with your ideals. So it is the sign in which where the sun was at the time of your birth. So right now, if you were born in either May or in May, you're probably either a Taurus sun or a Gemini sun. So depending on what month you're born in, that's going to depend on your sun sign. The sun changes signs every about 30 days. This has to do with, yes, how you see yourself. It has to do with your ideals, your goals, like all about stepping into this self. But that's not how we're going to manifest. We are going to manifest with your moon sign and your rising sign. So you see yourself as your sun sign, but your rising sign is how other people see you. And it's also like your soul's purpose. It's what you came here to do. It's who you came here to be in this lifetime. And we chose on what rising sign we were going to come into. So it's no mistake your rising sign. And this is the soul's path your soul chose to come in at in this lifetime. And so it is very important. And your moon sign has to do with your soul. It is very connected to your soul, but it's more about your internal world and your emotions. And I always like to talk about the moon, especially when it comes to your self-care plan and how you manifest, because this is your emotional world. This is like what you need on an internal level. So we are going to go into specifics here, okay? So your moon sign is your emotional needs and how you feel safe. It's how you nurture yourself. So your moon sign is so important, and depending on your moon sign can reflect your self-care plan, which we talked about yesterday. But it's about the environments which you like feel alive. You feel emotionally connected to. And the moon changes signs about every 2.5 days. So even if you are a Taurus sun, your moon sign could be something totally different. You could have your moon sign in the sign of Leo. You could have your moon sign in the sign of Libra or in the sign of Aquarius. So that is going to really affect your emotional needs and what you really need to feel nourished and to fill your own cup. So I want you to really reflect on, what do I need to feel to really thrive in my environment? You can drop below if you know your moon sign. I would love to know in the comments. You could also drop your rising sign, and then I'll check back and check in on the comments later as people are commenting. But let's go through each sign and as it reflects to your moon sign. So if you don't know, you can go, there's a couple free charts that you can go to. I like to use either Cafe Astrology if you're brand new. If you're a little bit more seasoned, you can go to astro.com, but you can just Google like free natal chart or a free birth chart, and there's a couple there. You just put in your birthday and your birth time, and it will come back with what your moon sign is. So if you have an Aries moon, Aries likes to be the first of the zodiac. So anything competitive, very fast movement. I say all fire signs really need to be in their body. And so you don't want to pent up. A lot of fire signs, we have a lot of energy. And if you have a fire moon, you don't want to pent up that energy inside your body. You want to move it. So, anything that can get your body moving is going to be really good for Aries. They also like to just take risks. They like to be adventurous. They like to try new things. So that's all going to be really good for an Aries moon. I'm just looking at my notes here so I don't forget anything. So Taurus moon, Taurus is an earth sign, and they are all about creatures of comfort. So they love like a cozy blanket. They love like a comfortable couch. And they love like a warm cup of coffee. Taurus is very sensual, so it's all about experiencing all of the senses. So Taurus is also a money sign, so you may just want to get connected with your money. Make sure that you know what's going in, what's going out, and you doing like money rituals. That's all going to be really good for your moon sign. To just get grounded, put your feet into the earth, do some grounding yoga. Taurus loves to just like connect with nature. If you have a Gemini moon, Gemini is associated with Mercury, which is all about communication and learning. Is going to be really good for a Gemini. Having a library card is essential. Podcasts, you're always like learning. Also journaling, expressing through your subconscious mind, and just letting just free write. Let your mind wander onto the page. Gemini also likes to talk. I also think of Gemini as very social. So, having a social circle, getting around other people, that's all going to be very good for you. And just speaking out your desires also could help you manifest, because Gemini is all about communication. And so just speaking things out loud is really good for a Gemini moon. If you have a Cancer moon, Cancer's the mama of the zodiac. It's very nurturing. It's very emotional. Cancer's very connected to the water. So getting around and being in and around water is very healing for a Cancer moon. So you can do moon baths, anything that's going to help you feel nurtured, because Cancer definitely craves security. And again, similar to Taurus, where they're such a homebody, they like to be in their bed, they like to be cuddled up on the couch. So that's all going to be very nurturing to a Cancer moon. If you have your moon in the sign of Leo, Leo loves the spotlight. Leo loves the spotlight. They love to be center of attention. Doing mirror work and saying your affirmations and telling yourself how much you love yourself, that's going to be very good for a Leo moon. Also, they're all connected to creativity, self-expression. So letting your creativity come out, maybe dressing up, getting into costumes or role play. That's going to be like letting out your inner child and being connected to your heart, being connected to joy, making sure you have play as a center focus of your day, of your life. Manifesting through play and joy is going to be really important for Leos. If you have your moon in the sign of Virgo, Virgo is it's another earth sign, it's very detailed. They like clean spaces. So cleaning your house is totally a ritual that you could do if you have a Virgo moon. Virgos also has to do with daily rituals. So anything having to do with health and wellness is going to be very good for Virgo. Virgos also are like planners of the zodiac. If you know a Virgo, they always have a plan. Planning out your manifestations. Maybe you're trying to manifest a trip. Maybe just plan it out. Figure out when you're going to go and what are you going to do and how much is it going to cost. Like all of that is going to speak to a Virgo moon. If you have your moon sign in the sign of Libra, Libra is connected to Venus, which is all about beauty and love and relationships. So any kind of beauty rituals can help with Libra. Also, anything having to do with balance, because Libra likes things to be balanced and fair. So even like things like yoga, Pilates can really help you get that sense of balance. And focusing on gratitude is really good for Libra. Libra, one of their main chakras is the heart. So if you can just focus on gratitude and appreciation and being appreciative of what you already have and getting connected into your heart, that's going to be really good for Libra moon. If you have a Scorpio moon, Scorpio is connected to Mars and Pluto. It is a sign all about rebirth, death, regeneration, alchemy, transformation. Scorpio likes to talk about the things that no one else likes to talk about, like money and sex and death. So let me know if you have a Scorpio moon. Shadow work and anything having to do with transformation is going to be really good for a Scorpio moon, as well as any kind of candle magic. If you're into that, that can help you manifest. Sagittarius is, if you have a moon in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is a fire sign, and it's all about big vision. It's about going places. It's about learning, but we talked about Gemini, love and learning, but Sagittarius is more about deep diving, like higher level education, getting a certification, becoming a shaman, or going on a yoga retreat. These are big things that Sagittarius loves. They're also like the explorer of the zodiac. So how you're going to manifest is having a big vision. So a vision board would definitely help you. Any kind of future self journaling, I do this all the time. I actually have a Sagittarius moon, and I like to script out my ideal day as if it's already happening. It's like happening right now, like yesterday. I'll write it out like it happened yesterday, but it's my future self. Any affirmations having to do with freedom, because freedom is a core value of Sagittarius. So if you have your moon in Capricorn, Capricorn is another earth sign. So it's very grounded. It's very logical. Capricorn is known as the CEO of the zodiac. They usually have a 5-year plan. Anything regarding your legacy, like mapping out your 5-year plan, mapping out your long-term goals, is going to be really good for a Capricorn moon. Anything around goal setting and being really disciplined with your manifestation practices. Because Capricorn likes to play the long game, and they're just really disciplined. They're really good at just showing up and doing the work. So just having a daily manifestation practice will just be really good for Capricorn. If you have an Aquarius moon, Aquarius is another air sign similar to Gemini and Libra. Very much up in their head. They're analytical. They're known as the rebel. They're also known as the genius archetype of the zodiac. So again, going back to being that visionary, but maybe scripting it out like we talked about with the Sagittarius, writing out your goals out on paper and scripting it as it's like actually happening or already happened. You can see it happening in your mind's eye. Aquarius is also one of the themes around Aquarius is astrology. So looking to the stars, you look into your natal chart to manifest, looking to where the planets are happening in your natal chart, which I definitely can help you with that. And any kind of group intention setting is going to be good for Aquarius. Aquarius is all about the collective, and they love to be in groups. They love to get people together and create a movement. So if you have an Aquarius moon, doing things in group settings is going to be really good for you. If you have a Pisces moon, Pisces is a water sign similar to Cancer and Scorpio. They're very spiritual. They're very psychic, and they're also associated with the subconscious and the unconscious. So anything having to do with your dreams, the best time to access the subconscious mind is right before you go to bed and or right after you get up, like that sleepy haze that you're still in, you're not fully awake. That is, you still have access to the subconscious mind in that state. So if you write out your goals before you go to bed, that can be a really good way to manifest, especially if you have a moon in Pisces. And just keeping a dream journal, writing down what you're actually dreaming. Everyone should do that, but especially a Pisces moon. Pisces is also very much associated with the water. So we talked about Cancer being good with the water. So getting around water, the ocean, lakes, rivers is all going to be really good if you have a Pisces moon. And really tune into your intuition. Pisces is so psychic and they're so tuned in to their intuition. Really, just tuning into your intuition and asking, what is my next level? What should I be manifesting? And getting really in tune there. We're talking about manifesting with your moon sign. So you can let me know in the comments, what is your moon sign? And so there are 4 main moon cycles that you can use to manifest. And I teach this. I have an upcoming workshop. We're going to be workshopping with you to manifest with this Gemini new moon. But the new moon is a great time to set your intentions. It's very dark. You're going to have to utilize your intuition. You're going to have to go within. It's a really good time to go within. And again, we talked about your moon sign represents your emotional world. It also has to do with your intuition. So tap into your moon sign during this new moon phase. And then the next phase is usually about a week later, and it's the first quarter moon. And the first quarter moon is when you're going to start taking action towards your goals. So manifestation is not just about thinking about it. It's thinking about it, but then and acting as if, and then taking action as if you already know it's going to happen. So first quarter moon, it is all about taking action, planting those seeds. The full moon is going to be around releasing the blocks. So the new moon is very dark. The full moon is very full. So it's your light source. And all of a sudden you'll understand maybe what's standing in the way of your manifestation practice. So a full moon is really good time to just release what's no longer serving you and being willing to surrender. And then the last quarter moon is really about wrapping up those projects, but also getting into full surrender mode. Like you've set your intention, you planted the seeds. What's going to happen is going to happen, and letting the universe take over. So it's partly about you and partly about the universe, and being willing to co-create with, this is what I want and I'm willing to take the action, but I also recognize that there's forces more powerful than I am that can help in that manifestation process.